unquestionably dangerous. So no one's saying that it's not, but just it's not the bubonic plague either. So
It's not the flu, guys.
yeah.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
So, just, I'm out.
Sorry, goodbye.
Nope.
That was probably insensitive. I'm so sorry.
I had a funny beginning, but that trumped anything that I was going to do. That was incredible.
That's a huge deal.
Perfect timing.
That was
perfect timing.
That was fucked up what you did.
Guys, welcome to another episode of the Beacon House Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey.
I'm Spence.
I'm another one of your hosts, Hunter.
And so far, we're clear. We don't have it.
We're good for now. We're good
Yeah,
for now.
we're going clear, and we haven't given a penny to Scientology.
Wait,
That's a fact. Well, guys, so we're in.
Don't speak for everybody.
We're in very strange times here. We've got this this is a damn virus, y'all. This damn virus.
Have you seen the Cardi B thing where she's talking about, and somebody played the piano to match her?
Yeah, I did, and then I saw somebody post it, and they said, "This is what you see at the gates to hell."
This is the goddamn coronavirus. The guy's playing the piano. He's like, ding, 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 ding.
Dude,
It's incredible. It's so good.
man. So how are you guys holding up under the social distancing and stuff?
Honestly, I was talking to Hunter about this a minute ago before you got here.
Yeah.
And I feel weird because I've had some time off as well,
Yeah.
using a little bit of PTO for my birthday. And
Happy birthday, Casey.
oh, thank you.
Happy birthday,
I
Casey.
set
It's the day we
I set
recorded
that
this.
up. Woo. But I've been sitting around my house for the last week, just catching up on TV shows that I've been wanting to watch, playing video games, watching movies, interacting via social media with other people.
Yeah, I've actually
Introducing
done some
my-
FaceTime calls with friends. It was, it was weird,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Well, introducing my cat to the dog that lives in our apartment.
Right.
So like doing little things, but nothing really productive, and it feels really weird. But it's also exactly what people want us to do right now, is just kind of stay home.
Of course.
So it feels odd, but I also know that I'm doing my part to socially distance myself.
Correct. Correct.
But no, it just feels weird to like sit at home and watch movies and go, I'm supposed to do this. It just feels weird. Like I feel like I should be going out and doing something, but I can't because everything's closed.
I agree. It feels weird to be. I've tried to make. I don't spend a lot of time at home. That's most people who know me know that I'm always running to and from either work or this or someplace. But I've been trying now to from work I go home and I've just tried to kind of just stay home.
Yeah.
But it does feel weird. I feel there is a weird, almost a guilt
Yeah.
that comes with it because I'm like, shit, dude, I should be doing, or I'm like, I should be doing things around the house. I could be doing laundry right now. I could be, and I did do a little laundry. I changed the sheets on the bed. I cleaned some. I did a shit ton of dishes. But mostly I just sat on my ass.
But see, that was the thing that when Casey and I were talking that I kind of settled on addressing this with Libby the first few days of us being out of work and everything was, again, doing what you guys are doing, like household stuff, or like in Casey's case, catching up on TV shows with us, making art or whatever else, and challenging it feeling kind of vapid at some point because you're like, what purpose is this going to?
Sure.
Really? But I think the thing that we could take away from it is the idea that I think it's shown that everyone is too plugged in and running themselves into the ground too hard. Because even though it feels weird, there's nothing wrong with just chilling either. And it feels bad.
It does
like
feel
to the
bad.
three of us.
Well, and I
It's
think
because we go so hard.
it's true. But would you guys also agree that a lot of it seems like the pressure coming from like the media, and there's just, and maybe it's not the stress. Okay, I'm not saying that the media is telling us we should be doing something, but like there is so much stress coming from social media and news media right now. It's just doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, dude. I'm starting to really see. Like I noticed in myself, just having like this bizarre, vague feeling of stress. Like, and nothing was wrong. Like I was at home. I was just like chilling I had some cats, I was hanging out. I was like, there's nothing wrong right now, but I felt like something terrible was happening. And I was like, holy shit, man, this is really serious. This is like I had a little bit of anxiety, just like, and I was like, whoa. I had to go outside and go outside and get some fresh air and just kind of breathe deeply and look at the world, and which is still beautiful, and kind of go, okay, cool. Like, I just need to not be around big groups of people right now, but everybody's okay. Yeah, no, it's just weird, man.
It's a weird time. This is honestly something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. I shared a meme because one of my, someone made a thing from Step Brothers where Will Ferrell's like, this is bullshit. And he walks out and it says, I wanted from my apocalypse zombies and anarchy, and all I got was social distancing and a cough.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with your anxiety and stress. I've been sitting at home feeling odd, and I think that's the perfect feeling, or perfect example of what I've been feeling is just stressed out in my own home, doing nothing, knowing that I'm supposed to be doing this, and I'm just like, I just feel anxious.
Yeah, I agree.
And I went through that too, sharing that, but I'm just hoping that society as a whole can take a step back and not stop at all, but slow down a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. And also I see a lot of people saying that, see, this is how socialism can work. And I would like to point out that someone very smart that I talked to recently pointed out that this isn't socialism, this is capitalism during a crisis, which also works.
Yeah, there's a whole...
Everyone's like, see, you can send us $1,000 a month and we can make socialism work. And it's like, this isn't what socialism would be like. This is capitalism during a crisis.
No, and again, one of my first things I posted on Facebook was don't politicize the pandemic, and I still stick by that. But
God, it's everywhere.
A lot of people are totally doing it. And once again, you guys know one of my favorite people of all time, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that great genius we have.
Captain Winebreath.
That
video you sent.
Dude, oh my God. Like, she said that because we don't have a single payer socialized healthcare system in America, and that's why we're going to struggle with this so much more than China and Italy, the two places that it was the worst.
Yeah.
And because they have socialized healthcare. I mean, she made absolutely no sense. Like, it was just, she was like, do you see, if we had a better healthcare system, we'd be handling this well like they are. They're not handling it well at all.
They have the highest death rate.
Yeah, we're terrible. Like, we're going to come out of this way better than they did. Mm-hmm. But at any rate, again, there's just so much. Oh my God.
Thank you for bringing this up, because I want to talk about something. And I mentioned it before we started recording. I want to talk about half-truths.
Get it.
And we're talking, there are so many fucking Facebook posts and so many articles being written right now and so much garbage being pushed at us.
Seriously.
That's only half true.
And some of it's not at all true. Some of it is true, but it's coming at us at the rate that if you this comes to something I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, but I'm here to tell you guys, look, if you're out there, if you're just sitting there like watching the news and looking at your phone,
don't do it
over and over and over, like,
you're going to get sick, and it's not going to be the coronavirus. You're going to give yourself stomach ulcers.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, we have a new thing to manage now during this pandemic, and that's the influx of like fear and stress, which are both shown to be way more dangerous than the virus.
Yeah.
So please, and I know that people don't have a lot to do, and people get cooped up and they get scared. They get on Facebook and they start posting and they copy articles but the overall general effect of this thing is very dangerous. And I agree with you, Casey. Just like, I think we need to inundate how much of that shit we have coming in, and practice like taking breaks from it.
Well, and here's the thing: is one article came out about a young man who just visited Disney World or Disneyland.
Oh yeah,
and got the coronavirus, and he was on a respirator and close to death. I don't know. He might have already died.
A bunch of the versions of that story didn't even have him being health compromised. They just said, "Man leaves Disney World and gets coronavirus." That was it.
Yeah,
that's all it said.
And he got coronavirus, and he was on a respirator, and that he was close to death. I'm not sure if he passed away or not, or if he's doing fine now. What they didn't tell you, and what people had to do their own research on, is that this man just recovered from testicular cancer.
So he was immunocompromised.
He had asthma, and he also had just had a bad case of bronchitis and was getting over that before he even contracted this virus.
Right.
And people are going, it kills young people now. It kills young people now.
And for all you know, a guy in that condition, if it wasn't the coronavirus, might have gotten the flu and died too.
Yes.
Or there's a lot of things that potentially could have killed him. But again, they spin, for people that are just looking to get upset.
Well, and there's been other couple cases of people getting it at a younger age, college age, 22, 21, 18, somewhere around there, and they're also having problems. and they're talking about how it's starting to attack younger people and it's more effective and it's like being more deadly towards them and it could be more of a problem. But once again, what they're not talking about is the connecting factor to all these cases, and why they have such a problem is because they all vape heavily. And that can also lead to you having more complications of the coronavirus, because you're just basically breathing in that e-cigarette vaping stuff into your lungs, and the coronavirus, when it attacks your lungs, just fucking kicks that all around, and you have a more terrible time with it.
Well,
it's like smokers.
Right. And I have seen things. I didn't used to believe this, but I have now seen evidence that vaping is a little less dangerous than smoking. If it has nicotine in it, the overall effect is it's still super addictive, which I think is the hardest thing. I smoked for a long time, and it was hard to kick because nicotine is so addictive. But in terms of just like the lungs, but it's still bad. And if you're vaping constantly, you're going to be more at risk for lung
Problems.
lung respiratory illness and stuff. Man, I don't know. I think if I wanted everybody listening to this to just remember one thing, like you said, they're starting now to say that it's ramping up and you're more and more cases are just, I'm not going to say what the truth is because I don't think anybody really knows the truth 100%. But I just want to say to everybody, like, please try to understand the difference between what's just now escalating and what you're just now hearing about, because they may not be the same thing. Just putting that out there. Some of this may have already been around for a while before they started testing for it, and just understand that you're seeing the results of people as the tests come back, which, yes, means the numbers may go up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the numbers weren't already here.
Yeah.
Not saying that we shouldn't be responsible, but just in terms of what makes us afraid, we need to look at this thing a little more critically, I think, because before we start freaking out. Like you were telling me, this lady, I was on my way here today, I was sitting in traffic, and I've been responsible. I haven't had any contact with anybody all day, and none of us have touched since we've been in the room. We're sitting across from each other, whatever. But like, I was sitting in traffic, and this lady behind me just freaked out. I saw her; she pulled her car like out in the middle of the road and stopped, and like took her hands off the wheel and reached up and just like clutched her head, like she was just freaking out. She's out driving around, just freaking out, and I was like, "Whoa, man!"
Maybe her hair salon got canceled.
I don't know, but it looked like
Shut up.
Damn it.
It looked like she was cracking up from. I mean, I can only imagine the one big thing that's affecting us all right now, but maybe it was something else. But I was just thinking, damn, man, people gotta calm down.
So, but to the note of that being in traffic, the big takeaway I've had this past week, have you guys noticed that despite the fact that Knoxville traffic is like 90% gone, the driving is just the same? Like, not even skill level, but people are going like 30, 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Still.
I've
And
noticed
like,
that.
there's fucking space everywhere, finally. Like, it's not congested.
But
and
everybody's
you're
going
driving
like real
it's rush
slow.
hour.
Like what? Like there is
I mean,
it? 'Cause-
it was Bill Burr who said, "Man, I would really love a new plague so I could tear down the Lincoln Tunnel at 50
know,
miles an
I
hour at
know.
5 o'clock at night."
yeah.
I know. I don't know. No, I have noticed that. Everybody's just like super on alert.
Like 3 cars, like their vehicles are social distancing.
Yeah.
Is what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that's having an overall effect on society. Like people are going, "Whoa, why is everything so creepy right now?" Like I get it. We need to like again, not understanding and being afraid. Those are 2 big things. But fuck, dude, it's been, bro, this damn virus, bro,
It's been intense.
been a little bit intense.
Spencer kicked the door down on the way in today.
Yeah.
So intense.
This virus is like a circus. It's intense.
Everybody's been self-quarantining, so all the jokes you're hearing are just inside jokes.
Nice.
I wonder if Libby wants to watch Quarantine.
Outbreak, dude. Watch Outbreak.
It's on Netflix.
Let's give some points here, maybe for the listeners if they're interested.
5 if you get the question right.
Also, by the way, anybody who's hearing me cough, I do not have the virus. It's from my throat, not my chest.
Yeah,
I'm
but
okay.
Everybody, please observe
same,
that right now we're also everybody's experiencing seasonal allergies.
Yeah.
which means people are going to sneeze and cough around you, and like try not to let that freak you out. Just don't get close to them, and just be careful. Be
The
careful.
anticipation's killing me. I just want to go on and get it already. Although I may have already had it.
Maybe.
I may have had it back in November.
A lot of people think that it's been here for a minute, and they're just now showing the test results as they're specifically looking for it.
Yeah.
Some people think November, some people think January, some people say both. But a lot of people had a very similar set of afflictions last fall.
A very bad upper respiratory infection.
Yeah, and they even closed schools for a couple days. And
All I'm saying is I had symptoms.
forgot about that.
My
They did.
symptoms At
Sore
the
throat,
time, it
dry
was
cough, you know.
it was around November. I remember because I went down to Atlanta for Thanksgiving, and
Right.
my brother made a comment about me being sick again for Thanksgiving at his house.
Yeah.
But I remember for 3 days, I was down for the count with what felt like the flu. And I was just laid in bed. I slept all the time. I had a cough. It was all in my chest. My chest burned. I did a lot of Vicks Vapor Rub and Mucinex. And then after 3 days, I broke the fever and I felt fine. But I had a cough for about 2 weeks. And it just wouldn't go away. I kept coughing up shit for 2 weeks straight.
I had that back in November too. And a bunch of people I work with all had it. And we were kind
And
of fighting.
it sounds exactly like the symptoms of coronavirus.
It could have been. Could have been.
Or it could have been a strain of the coronavirus, maybe COVID-18
Maybe. I mean, I'm not a, you know,
or COVID-4.
I'm not an immunologist, but fucking something. But again, even if the coronavirus hasn't been here before, a lot of more dangerous things have. And I'm not saying that means we should take this lightly. So I'm about to give you guys a couple.
Perspective matters.
I have prepared. Perspective does matter, and I've prepared some tips for surviving the virus.
Ooh.
This is the Beacon House official memorandum on getting past this whole coronavirus thing, getting back to normal.
So are we diving deep into this now, or are you just giving us the tips?
Well, I'll stop at each.
You stop.
You're not allowed to go deep because of the virus. So a couple things. And again, none of these are made to think that we shouldn't take this lightly. Like, we're already in it. I heard somebody say, look,
Yeah.
we already lost round one. We got punched in the face. We're already here. We're, fucking, the shelves are already empty at the grocery store. People are panicking. Shit's getting shut down. Schools are closed. Businesses are closed. Bars are closed. You know, we can't go back and go, oh, it's not really real. This is real. Mm-hmm. But the panic and the stress is maybe what we're addressing here. So here's some tips to maybe mitigate that. And I'm going to say, this is not to say that it's not serious, but just to give, like you said a minute ago, perspective.
Yeah, what you said, we've endured far worse,
Right.
historically.
Well, because a lot of people are sitting at home wondering when it's going to be over, and they're looking online and seeing people who are not at home, and they're either getting super mad and like shaming businesses for trying to stay open and feed their employees, which I think is super wrong.
Yeah.
By the way, if a business is complying with like health guidelines, which are, by the way, are super strict now. Mm-hmm. Like we got a call from, I work at a restaurant that delivers food, and we got a call from the mayor's office, and they said, look, nobody can be in there dining in. And they said, look, and so we just went ahead and took all the tables out of the lobby. Just totally took it off the table altogether. Only takeout and delivery, and super sanitary hand washing. I mean, it's crazy. It looks like a ER in there. I mean, I've got signs hanging up everywhere. There's sanitizer sitting every 3 feet. I mean, it's crazy. And anyway, there's a lot of people that are shaming businesses. And meanwhile, I know so many people that are now out of a job that worked in the service industry. I want to say, please don't shame anybody for how they're handling this virus. Everybody's, I think, doing the best they can. And some people that, I don't know, just everybody's situation is different. But please don't be that fucking asshole on social media that's shaming people for trying to make a buck during this safely, if they're doing so safe. And that's not the same as all the people, the spring breakers that they got mad at on the beach for just like ignoring it. They're like, fuck it, if we get it, we get it. And that was irresponsible.
Yeah.
I'm talking about businesses who are operating responsibly within the guidelines now, which is basically takeout, drive-through, and delivery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's actually helping a lot of people that don't have other ways to get food, or people that are trying to feed their families still.
Yep.
So don't be that fucking asshole that does that. That's just my one service now. So anyway, here we go. Back to the
tip.
The tip. Step 1. Turn off the fucking news.
Why don't we have video for this one?
Turn the fucking news off for a minute.
But Spencer, what about Facebook scientists and Facebook politicians and also Facebook news people?
Turn that shit off too. I'm here to tell you. And did you see the other day they had Willie Nelson did a concert, and he had like his sons on there with him. Everybody Google this, look this up. But they were sitting there playing acoustic guitars, streaming it live for the world, and they'd played a song called "Turn Off the Fucking News." And he said maybe turn off the fucking news. Go out, work in the garden for a little bit. But I was just like, no shit, man. Like, get your fucking phone out of your face. Get your TV off for a minute, just for a minute, and listen to the silence. And maybe step out on your front porch. Again, don't go rushing into a group of people, but just get away from all this hysteria for a minute to get your head right. That is absolutely step number 1 for surviving the pandemic. Turn off the fucking news for a little while. You can come back to it, and I promise you, if there's a mandate, like if there's actually a nationwide quarantine where you're not allowed to leave your house, you'll get an alert on your phone.
Yeah.
Your phone will go, brr, brr, it'll wake you up just like a tornado warning. So please, the dangers of social media and stress right now are so incredibly high. So please, first off, get your head together. Stop feeding into the fear mongering and all the pandemic, and please just try to back off from it.
The news is just trying to make it scandalous. They just want to make it crazy enough to where people buy into it. That's where it comes with the half truths.
This is a feeding frenzy from them. Of course, they're gonna ring this thing for all it's worth.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Ebola. Didn't Bill Burr have a joke about that as well with the whole Ebola outbreak? Because like everybody was freaking out about it. And he goes, "Hey, how many people do you guys know died of Ebola when that came through? Oh, none of you? No shit, none of you knew that."
Yeah, and just again, I'm not putting. This is not a scientific experiment. But do any of you know anybody that's got it?
The coronavirus?
Yes.
Nope.
Do you know anybody that has it? I'm not saying hasn't been sick or maybe told to stay away.
Tested positive for it.
Tested positive, yeah. No.
Okay, me neither.
Shocking.
But again, there's tons of people that got it. I mean, we know for a fact Rand Paul has it, Kevin Durant has it, Tom Hanks has it, a bunch of NBA players.
How many of those?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba has it.
Has it with no symptoms. Kevin Durant has it with no symptoms.
I mean, some of these people have it. And again, not saying that but there are people who have died. There have been deaths. Just to be fair, there have been deaths.
There's been deaths, and the news says that there's deaths, but they won't tell you who those deaths are. Like, there was 4 deaths in South Carolina, and the news covered it, and it said 4 deaths from the coronavirus in South Carolina. And then they moved on.
Well, let me give you guys...
You know what they didn't say? All of them lived in a nursing home and were over the age of 80.
Yep.
Well, step 2. Here I've got step 2. So step 1, turn off the fucking news. Step 2, calm down and get your shit together. And this is part of step 2 here. I'm going to give you guys, I posted a thing, somebody posted a very informative, our friend Eric Stam posted a very informative article by a guy that does genetic testing and stuff, talking about like the rates of the coronavirus outbreak and how testing is not lateral and how you would actually have to test every person for a year or 2 in the hospital to get actual data to compare it against the flu.
Yeah.
And actually, right now, the flu has 8 times higher death percentages in coronavirus based on the testing, but the testing is not, none of these numbers are skewed because we don't know how long it's been around, and they're just now looking for it and they're finding what they're looking for. But just to give you guys some numbers, this was posted, some of these facts here were posted by a friend of mine who's a police officer, okay? And these are going to go back a little bit. This is as of March 20th, which is a couple days ago. And by the time you guys are hearing this, it's going to be even further back. So yes, these numbers will have increased by a lot. But percentage-wise, and like Hunter said, for perspective, just consider some of these things, okay? Not saying this means not to wash your hands, but just to kind of calm everybody down. Check this out, okay? The U.S. confirmed COVID-19 cases total around 15,000, okay? That's 0.00047% of the U.S. population. Of those 15,200 had died, which is 0.0000006% of the population. Now, here in Tennessee, where we live, we had 228 confirmed cases. That's gone up. I've seen that now. That number's way over 300 now. But 228 confirmed cases, which is 0.00047% of Tennessee. And of those, over 100 of them were in Nashville, the Davidson County area, where the most people are, So, again, and I think there was one reported death in Tennessee.
How old were they?
I don't know. But
That's the things that no one wants to talk about, and it's so aggravating.
Well, and I'm not trying to trivialize any death. I want to say this, too. Please understand. Any death is terrible.
It is tragic.
It's sorry that anybody died from
But
this.
the fact that no one's telling the population, hey, this really does just affect the elderly and the immunocompromised people, or immune-compromised people.
Or most likely.
Most likely.
Everybody else has about a 90-something% chance of recovering fully. And I'm not even saying that stuff. I'm not saying, like, if you get it, you're going to be okay. I'm just saying the amount of people that have it and the amount of people that die from it doesn't seem to...
There was a 103-year-old who had it and then recovered from it. He's fine.
Well, but, okay, and I get that. But my point is that everything's closed. Like, they've closed schools, colleges, restaurants, bars, local businesses. for something that has numbers this low is suspicious to me, or not necessarily suspicious, just weird.
It's fishy.
It's fishy, and the panic that goes with it is very unhealthy. So let's listen to this too, okay? These are numbers from, we just read the numbers from my friend who's a police officer, okay? These are statistics obtained through the National Center for Health Statistics and the National Safety Council, okay? So your odds from dying from the coronavirus are about 1 in 25,000. 1 in 25,000 are your chances from being killed by this disease. 1 in 5 are your chances from dying of heart disease. 1 in 7, cancer. 1 in 23, stroke. 1 in 100, you're going to die in a car accident. 1 in 250. Okay, this is, think of 250 versus 25,000. You're more likely to die from falling over than the coronavirus. Okay,
Careful on those stairs.
yeah. Bicycle accident.
Shout out, Jason.
1 in 4,700. You're more likely to die on a bicycle. 1 in 8,900 is your chances of drowning. Okay, and the next thing, 1 in 20,000 are your chances of dying on an airplane, and then the next thing is coronavirus.
I think
Shortly after coronavirus are tornado and lightning. Okay, just in terms of statistically, your chances of dying from these things based on
Wait a minute.
deaths.
I thought you're more likely to be struck by lightning than to die in a plane crash.
Apparently, plane crash comes more.
Superman's been lying.
But
Bastard.
I mean, according to the Center for Health Statistics and the National Safety Council. Okay,
Hey, it's better than some guy on Facebook.
Now, if people are dying from all that stuff, way more than the coronavirus, why is nothing closing down over that? Like, why? How come when you had 250 highway accidents
I think
last
it's
month
probably
or something?
because it can spread like it's a germ.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he's correct on that. Most of those things aren't contagious. So anyway, but again, I want to say that I understand the numbers I'm reading. A lot of the coronavirus cases haven't yet been diagnosed and may not get diagnosed. Some people aren't getting tested. They're just being told to stay home.
Yeah. Oh, you're between the ages of an infant to 30 years old. You're fine.
Yeah.
But currently, even if you do become infected with the virus, there is a 97.5 chance you will recover. Now, that's not a 100% chance, which is still scary. But before you panic and freak out like this lady I saw in traffic, you have
She could have been dumped.
You've got a 1 in 25,000 chance of getting it, and then a 97.5% chance of recovering. So the number one thing about fear, I think, for people is probably the first thing they fear is this going to kill me? Am I in danger? Is this going to hurt me? And from there, everything else kind of emanates outward. So the chances you're going to die from the coronavirus are very low. So again, that's not saying run out and be irresponsible and don't wash your hands and don't give a fuck. But it's okay. I think it's okay to let your guard down a little bit. It's okay to relax. If you're sitting at home, self-quarantining, you're doing the right thing. And you're going to help, but just you don't have to be upset about it. You could go, all right, cool, we got this. We're going to beat this thing. Which brings, do you guys have anything to add about the numbers?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it falls like the first time we talked about this 3 episodes ago, someone like the other day, someone texted me like, "Oh, does your opinion change about it now?" And I was like, "Nope." I was like, mass hysteria is way more dangerous than this virus is. It still is.
I definitely agree with that. And and I will also say a lot of these numbers they're expecting to go up and up and up also are going to be met with our preventative measures like social distancing, like self-quarantining, like businesses not being open. Like we're actually meeting this thing very aggressively. So yeah, you're going to get a couple numbers that go up, but also you're going to start to see numbers come down too because we're actively fighting this.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the third and final point.
Italy and China?
No tip.
The third, the deep tip of the Beacon House Coronavirus Survival Guide, Step 3. Kick a virus's ass. Okay? Kick ass, a virus ass. Kick a virus.
I wish we could show you all Casey's face right now.
Step 3. So let's go.
Fuck you in this whole thing.
Let's
now.
curve back up. Let's curve back up. Step 1, turn off the fucking news. Step 2, calm down and get your shit together. And step 3, kick a virus ass.
But you have to do it like that with throat crackle.
Oh, fuck yeah, you do. If you see
Bye,
that
guys.
virus. No, come on. Listen, I'm telling Barry right now how to kick a virus's ass. So now, after everybody calms down and realizes that
Get that virus, brother.
this isn't the end, we're going to be okay and we're going to beat this thing. I think now, once everybody kind of gets over the anxiety of the shock of like, holy shit, like people are getting laid off work and this is scary. And what's going to happen to the economy? That's a big one because you can't just shut the economy out. Glenn Jacobs said that.
I saw the video. Yeah.
You can't just turn the economy off and then back on. There's all these weird ramifications. I think it's going to wind up being way more destructive, the damage this does to our economy and our infrastructure than like supply chains and all kind. That's going to be way more long-term hurtful than the virus. After this virus is long gone, it's still going to be like, what the fuck happened to our businesses? And anyway, but once we understand that this is probably not the end for any of us, we got to get to work beating this fucking thing. And so I want to kind of challenge everybody, but not so much challenge. I just want to kind of motivate people to, now that you realize we're going to be okay, let's get to work beating this fucking thing. Okay.
Hunter's throat monster keeps trying to come out.
Well, now that we're not paying attention to the fucking news where they go, somebody in Italy says, America, you have no idea what's coming. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want. Casey, do you want to talk about the statistics in Italy?
Oh, do you want to talk about how they have the oldest population of elder? Like they have the highest population of elderly people. They also have one of the highest populations in smokers.
10,000 people spread it all over the country before they effectively put the quarantine in place.
Yes, that one. What was the one that you were telling me about their healthcare system and how
they've just had a collapsing socialized healthcare system for a long time that sucks. I know people that have lived in northern Italy and they moved back here to get surgery because it was so bad there. All I'm saying is this.
Shocking.
If you're the coronavirus, Italy's where you go on vacation. You know? Like fucking.
Yikes.
So, yeah, again, now that we've got the news off and we're worried about how we're going to beat the fucking virus, let me just say, it's very possible. The virus itself, not a superhero. Highly contagious, but only generally through touch. And that even includes through the air. Like the only way you're going to get it through the air is if somebody sneezes in your face, coughs in your face, and they've got it. But that's still through touch of like water droplets and stuff.
Yeah.
So generally, and like I said, I work at a place that we deliver food, a restaurant, you know, and these are a lot of the things we've been getting constant updates from like the local health boards, national health organizations, everything. We've been constantly updating our procedures. But this is kind of what we've been doing, and everybody's been fine. Everybody's been perfectly safe. First, no physical contact, if you can help it. Not even a handshake or a hug. Again, now those of you that have wives and significant others, elbow bump,
because you can't lick your elbows.
True. But you could also put it in your jacket, and then you take your arm out of your jacket, rub it all the way down to your hand. Somebody very intelligently said, somebody from the Center for Disease Control, they said you need to consider this virus like blue paint, and it's everywhere. It's all over the table. It's all over your computer, your steering wheel, your clothes. And your goal is to keep it off your face. So every time you touch something, you've got blue paint on your hand. And you need to just think like that. That's more for optics than anything. But if you think about that, you think you've always got blue paint all over you. And you're trying to wash it off before you touch your face. Or right when you get home, change clothes or something, put your clothes in the wash. If people do that kind of stuff, the virus has no fucking chance. No chance. Sanitize all surfaces. Wash your hands every 30 minutes at work. Even if we don't touch money, if we don't come in contact with anybody else, everybody's washing their hands every 30 minutes, no matter what. And even more if they make a food delivery to somebody. And we're doing no contact food deliveries and stuff.
They come back in and get sprayed down with hand sanitizer.
They sanitize the carriers that we put the food in, everything. We're sanitizing everything. Door handles, counters, anywhere somebody might reach, all door handles, doorknobs, that kind of stuff. Sanitize that kind of stuff. That's so easy. That's usually where it's transmitted.
Well, this is also businesses. I would say at home, you don't have to be this cautious of washing your hands every 30 minutes. But
No, definitely not. But I would wash my hands every time I got home.
Yeah.
And every time I handled maybe a bunch of clothes I wore that day or my jacket. Like I've been taking my jacket off and spraying it with Lysol. Just in case I brushed up against something and brought it in. So just think about contact. But that blue paint analogy is a really good one. If you really picture that in anywhere that like just picture the virus is everywhere and it's blue paint. And if you avoid getting that on your face, that will be, a big one. So think about that stuff. If you do have to sneeze or cough, sneeze into your elbow. And then the first chance you get, like wash it off,
I've been struggling with that when I drive. I've been driving down the road and had the sneeze, and I just roll down the window and sneeze out the window.
And that's fine, because there's nobody's face right there, hopefully, unless somebody's trying to wash your window. And they picked the wrong guy.
Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Yeah. Casey now has started giving people dollars. Hey, can I have $1? Sure, motherfucker. Here you go.
There you go.
Have some virus, bitch. They say it lives,
There you go, man.
dude, they say it lives bad in money. They say money's bad. If you touch some fucking money, you better get to a sink pretty quick.
Yeah.
So money is dirty as shit.
I got money for my birthday, and I went home and disinfected it.
Yeah. I've been coming home, seriously.
I sprayed every dollar down with disinfectant spray.
Dude, I went to the store to get some stuff, and we'll talk about that, about Corona food, the quarantine food. Dude, I'm getting fat as shit on it. But listen, I came home, I put my wallet and my card down on the counter and Lysoled them, just in case, and my phone. So coming home, if you kind of disinfect yourself when you get home, and then, you'll be okay. But I would say your front door handle, any of that kind of stuff. Big car door handle, good place to sanitize a little bit. Just think of the blue paint. That's my number one tip in how to kick the virus's ass. And don't go anywhere you don't have to go. Don't be around anybody you don't have to be around. Even if they're super nice and you don't know who they've been around.
I really don't want to be here with you dicks, but
You know what? I can appreciate that he feels that
Casey's throat monster came out.
way. So, guys, that's my 3 tips.
I didn't say that.
That's my 3 tips to help fuck a virus up. Turn off the fucking news, calm down, get your shit together, and kick a virus's ass.
Or
And
just be clean.
yeah, refer to those steps on how to beat the virus, because we can absolutely beat it if we do those things. If you're really, really careful about hand washing, it's always passed through touch. Like I said, very rarely is it passed through a cough or a sneeze. It's always through touch. It's on a table. Somebody that has it touches a table. Somebody else comes by and touches it. They don't wash their hands.
But that person coughed on their hands to touch the table first, correct?
Maybe, or they could have just had it all over them. The virus can live on surfaces. It doesn't necessarily have to come out of a person. It could be on that door handle right now.
Now, is it more contagious than the flu?
Yes. I think it's statistically way more contagious than the regular flu. So it's highly contagious. So that you got to wash hands a lot, sanitize a lot. But if you do that, you will win. It can't live like those moves beat the virus.
And also, businesses are already disinfecting. So I mean,
You wouldn't believe it. The restaurant that I work at looks like a surgical lab. There's sanitizer every 2 fucking feet. Like, it's crazy.
The hotel I work at, we have disinfectant spray, but we're just using Clorox bleach spray and a rag, and spraying the rag with the bleach and just wiping down every handle in the place.
That's what we've got a little dishes with sponges and sanitizer and rags, and we just literally dip them in there. And if the phone rings, we dab it. We wipe the phone off before we touch it. We pick the phone up and then wipe it again and then say hello.
Yeah.
So I'm talking like super careful. And then every like hour, we're disinfecting the whole front counter, the lobby, the handles.
It's
Kick a virus ass.
kick a virus's ass.
Kick his shit right in.
Anyway, that's my little tips. What else you got? Let's talk about quarantine food. How are you guys doing on the quarantine food?
So I went out grocery shopping before everybody went crazy. People were already going crazy with toilet paper, but before everyone went crazy with food, I was like, I'm going to go grocery shopping. I'm about to have like a week off. I want to get some food, so I don't have to leave the house. I got 2 dozen eggs. I got a bunch of frozen vegetables. I got a bunch of canned food just in case, like soups and things like that.
Because power could go out. Our buddy Zeke, our military expert survivalist guy, said, Zeke, you're going to go stock up on some frozen stuff? And he goes, nope. I'm going to get things in case the power goes out. Crackers and peanut butter, canned stuff. I was like, shit.
That's mostly what we have.
Yeah. I'm not saying the power is going to go out, but if it does, everything in your fridge, technically, it could go bad.
Well, all the fruit and vegetables people stockpiled on. So I walked into Kroger to get all these groceries.
Those bananas are going to look like a burnt old cigar.
Dude, someone posted a statistic of how bad the waste is going to be after this thing blows over. How much people are going to throw away who don't need that stuff anymore. So I'm walking around Kroger and I see people with 2 to 3 buggies. Like every kid's pushing a buggy behind the mom, and I'm like, okay. I was like, so I got like a big thing of water just in case. I got extra drinks that I like, the LaCroix. I bought extra in that. I made sure to stock up on soap and hand soap and toothpaste because God knows someone's going to say, Crest solves the problem for the coronavirus, and all the Crest flies off the shelf.
I've brought home so much cat food. People probably think I'm crazy. They probably think I'm running a farm.
I felt bad because I bought my cat the wrong food, and I texted you about it. And what I found out was I didn't even get the cat chow that you got. I got adult cat food. It's strictly adult cat food. And I was looking it up, and apparently if you give it to kittens under the age of a year old, it could be bad for their kidneys. So I was like, I just dumped the whole bag of food and was like, all right, well, I can't save this for 7-8 more months. So I went out to the pet store. Here's the interesting part. I went to the pet store off Kingston Pike by Little Caesars, and I walk up to the door, and the guy pushes the door open and goes, how can I help you? I was like, I just need cat food and cat litter. And he goes, okay, we can only let 2 people in at a time, so you can come on in. And I walked in, and I went to walk back to it, and he goes, whoa, don't go past the blue line. And I look down, and they have it cordoned off to where it goes from the door to the cash register, and it's just a blue box. And he goes, you can only go to the register. I'll go get what you want. Tell me the brand and what it looks like.
That's smart.
And I went, all right, I was like, Purina Kitten Chow, and I need lightweight blue cat litter from Purina as well, Light Step. And he goes, okay, brought it back up. I made my purchase. I left, and I was like, that's the weirdest fucking interaction I've had since this
I
whole
hear
thing
it's like
started.
that at Walgreens too. I hear they have these little, every 6 feet they have like a little thing you can stand there, and then when they move, you move up to the next dot. You know, like they're making that social distancing thing like really, really, really happen. That's good. Hey, that's good moves, man. That's part of step 3. Kick a virus ass.
I mean, honestly, Knoxville has the lowest cases that I've seen in surrounding areas. Like
For a city this size, like
Yeah.
there are places in Tennessee where there's no cases, like counties where they're like, they probably won't see it.
But
at
those
all.
counties also have like 3 people.
Right. It's very, very small. But for
I think I only know of one confirmed case. You said that we might have 4.
I heard there were up to 4 as of now. By the time we hear this podcast, who knows? And again, if they're not testing for them, they're not going to show up. So they could be. And again, anybody you see could have it. And I think you'd be foolish to assume that they don't. Mm-hmm. I think just like I'm pretty sure you guys don't have it, and I don't have it. But I'm not going to be all up in your grill, and we're not going to touch, and we're going to sanitize everything. Like I could smell the fucking disinfectant when I walked in today. You guys did a great job.
I went down the hall at the door,
It was
sprayed
awesome.
the handles, and then sprayed disinfectant as I walked backwards all the way down the hallway.
Yeah, and I think that's my entire point. This is manageable. Mm-hmm. We can do this. Like, just everybody's got to make a couple adjustments, not get afraid. And especially more than anything, if you are sick, if you do have symptoms, stay home. Stay home, don't spread it. And that way that those of us that do have to encounter each other out in the world have a better chance of just getting through this unscathed. But man,
And also, most of you listening to this right now, if you get it, your chances are pretty good you're going to be okay.
yeah, and I would make it real clear. If you get it, go, hey, I've got it.
Yeah.
Anybody I know, if I've been around you in the last couple of days, you might want to be careful. I've got, just let people know what they're dealing with. But we can beat this thing.
But make sure you're actually tested positive and get the paperwork back saying you're positive for it before you start spreading to your friends.
Yeah, and
'Cause
also-
that could spread some fucking mass hysteria. Just being like, I think I might have it. I got a cough, and everyone just panics.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I think even more important than staying home if you do have it, which is, I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think more important is just to not be afraid, regardless, because
We can
tons of
see the
people
immune
have it.
system.
yeah, it's
leads to stress
dangerous,
and heart attack. I mean,
unquestionably dangerous. So no one's saying that it's not, but just it's not the bubonic plague either. So
It's not the flu, guys.
yeah. But yeah, just it's dangerous, but just wash your hands and do as little as you can to get by and wait it out.
Just realize
other
you're dealing
countries are
with it.
reopening, like it's fine. It'll
Wait,
be okay.
Just realize it's there. We're dealing with it. If you go outside, you're dealing with it. The door handle, the mailbox, whatever you touch, you just realize you're dealing with it. But also realize you can wash it off. Like we talked about in the last episode with Valerie, it's extremely delicate in water or around water. You could probably wash it off without even having soap. Somebody else pointed something out too. Stay hydrated. Mm-hmm. That's a big one. Apparently, if you're properly hydrated, a lot of times viruses will get in you and get flushed right into your endocrine system or your colon or something like that.
like you pee it out.
And you'd be surprised. Sparkling water is still considered water. So if you want to drink LaCroix because you want something a little different, drink a LaCroix. It'll also be just as good as drinking a bottle of water.
I maybe if you can find it. Libby and I didn't panic buy anything, but we kind of might have cleaned Knoxville out of sparkling water. So
No, you didn't.
the two of us did. There
I'm
we go.
stocked.
Dude, all the stuff that doesn't expire, like I was stocking, but I live by myself. So when I stock up on food, it can't be food that goes bad in 7 days. I've got to have stuff that's going to like can food and frozen stuff, you know. But dude, all the stuff that lasts a while is super carby. So I'm totally off the diet until this thing blows over.
I haven't gone to the gym because they all closed down.
Bitch, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this. I bought some Little Debbie's. I was sitting at home. I bought a big thing of fucking like party mix. I was like, that's nuts and checks. It's just all empty fucking carbs. And I was playing like a video game on my phone.
You were playing a video game?
Yes. I got so sick of trying to find movies and TV shows and YouTube.
I didn't know they had Pong on phones.
No, it's actually really good. It's the new Elder Scrolls Blades game.
Oh yeah,
and it is pretty involved, and it's just involved like Oblivion, and you know how that fucked me up.
Oh yeah.
So I've been at home on my phone, just I can. You guys that
Rewatching
are
High Fidelity.
You guys that are gamers, I totally get like. I've just had my hand in a big thing of Chex Mix playing this fucking game and occasionally supplementing with like a Little Debbie oatmeal cake. And I've been happy as shit. I'm going to gain like 900 pounds, but I'm so fucking happy and I'm safe.
Yeah.
I'm safe. There's no virus in the game.
Well, you're playing it on your phone, so.
I know. That's the only thing. But it's kind of cool because you can sit
I've been
or whatever.
wiping my phone down any chance I get to with
I have
Clorox
to.
wipes.
I have to. Man, games on phones have come a long way. It's as easily as advanced as the Oblivion game was.
You should play Skyrim.
Oh, I can't.
Dude, there are game graphics that are
Also,
just
I don't
as
have a
good as what you
console.
get on PC.
You can get a piece. You can get a PS3 and the original copy of Elder Scrolls for like $100 now.
No, that's a rabbit hole for me, dude. It's a total rabbit hole for me.
Feed.
But I have had fun playing Elder Scrolls on the phone.
Do it. Give in to your desires.
Dude, as soon as this thing's over, I'm never going to be home again.
Limited power. Feel it call your inner.
Well, anything. You guys got anything else to add about
No.
the pandemic, the quarantine?
No, but I do want everybody to know, are we getting close to wrapping up here?
Yeah.
I want everybody to know if you have an hour you want to kill, Childish Gambino just dropped a new album on Spotify, and it is, I've only gotten about 6 or 7 songs in. It's fucking legit.
Is it rad?
It's very experimental sounding.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it.
Let's go ahead and here's some things to keep you guys occupied. I don't know if either one of you guys listened to it, but I discovered maybe the best band I've heard in I don't even
The Kill? What is
The
it?
Strike.
The Strike, that's it.
Holy shit. It's it sounds like a band from the 80s, but with all the sensibility and songwriting that has happened in the last 30 years.
That's dope.
It's fucking staggering. The song I would recommend starting with that I've been sending to everybody is called, I think, Devil in the Canyon. Let me just double check to make sure here that I didn't fuck up. I sent it to like Brandon, Ferg, and Stam, and we were all listening to it at work. We literally had it on repeat all day. It's incredible. Yes, Devils in the Canyon by The Strike. Go find that shit on YouTube or Spotify right now. And another good thing to do is to just go to YouTube, find The Strike, the band, and just hit play all. Just watch all the videos. Most of them are just a standard shot, like a static video, but there's a couple of them that are actually performing. They are fucking phenomenal.
Yep.
Super poppy, super catchy, loaded with hooks, real heavily like 80s. But it's a breath of fresh air.
That sounds amazing.
And I want to give a shout out to our buddy Rob Bennett, who has yet to be on the podcast, but he's started his own social media channel. Look him up on YouTube. I shared it on Facebook earlier, but he started his own series, and he's shown a lot of behind the scenes stuff, like what cameras he's using, what lights he's using, how he's editing it, lighting effects and stuff. And it's going to be fucking spectacular. I think they're starting a podcast too with Daniel Wiseman, who we had on here.
Okay.
And it's going to be a video podcast. So I'm not sure how they're not in the same city, so they're going to shoot it. I guess it's like a Skype thing, which we may, wind up having to do that if we do get quarantined.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Altered Carbon Season 2. Haven't started yet, but I've heard good things.
It looks great.
High Fidelity. Everyone needs to watch that if you have a Hulu account.
So good.
I'm Not Okay With This. Apparently it's phenomenal. It's on Netflix, and it has a lot of the kids from the It movies.
Yes.
And it's apparently like a weird Stephen King-like show.
Isn't the director of Stranger Things?
Maybe. I need to look it up.
The director's some hot shot.
People are blowing up my phone about watching this
it's
show.
like a girl that has powers, but they're just emerging, and she doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
It's supposed to be super good. Some studio movies are now available for streaming. Have you guys,
The Hunt, Invisible Man, Onward, and Emma are the 4 that I've seen.
have you guys seen? Have you seen them?
I've not, because they're $19 just to rent.
I know.
Well, they got to make, to be fair to them, they got to make that money.
I get it.
That's true.
And I really want to watch The Hunt, Invisible Man, and Onward.
I watched The Hunt.
I've heard mixed
I'm going to
things.
wait till you guys watch it.
Okay, well, wait, because
Just
I'm
a
dying to
1
see
out of
it.
10.
What?
1 out of 10.
No, I'm gonna wait.
No, 1 out of 10.
He should wait because I've heard
I will
that
say-
it's super spoilery and that the stuff that they like, the stuff that spoilery changes
Just check
what
it
you're
out.
watching.
Check,
as you
check
watch
it out, and we'll talk about it. I will say that
You should both watch Onward.
Ready or
you can.
Not, I preferred it.
God, Ready or Not was so good.
It was so good. I liked it. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I preferred it very much over The Hunt, but whatever.
I loved how violent and funny it was, Ready or Not.
Most movies can't do that well, and it did it.
Yeah.
It pulled it off. Like, normally, the first time they did a joke, I would have been like, oh, this is bullshit. But, like, I was like, dude, that works.
In that movie, the daughter who can't seem to get anything right and
She
keeps killing,
sucks.
it keeps killing the maids. Like they're like, here, just take the crossbow. And she's like,
Yeah.
okay, and she shoots it and hits a girl in the face, and
Yeah.
she's like, God damn it, I can't do anything right.
It was kind of like a super violent modern version of the movie Clue.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most charming movies ever made. Like it's way up there.
It kind of reminded me of You're Next, except funnier.
I got that vibe from the preview. So.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put together a little Beacon House recommended movie list for while everybody's cooped up.
And I know when this episode comes out, it'll already be said and done, but I'm actually doing something pretty interesting tonight with the group. Well, I mean, you're working, so we
I'll be
can't do it with
working.
you. But normally we do a stream with video games,
Yeah.
and it's like solely based on the video game that we're playing.
Right.
Tonight, I have Jason, Frying Pan, and Hunter playing whatever game they can play easily and chat and talk. And we're just going to shoot the shit and invite people to jump into YouTube on the chat and talk with us. And it's not about the video game. It's all about just hanging
Just
out.
a hang.
Yeah.
During the social distancing and being able to chat and talk
Good,
whatever.
Good. Well, and I'm surprised somebody hasn't done one of those Netflix movie parties yet. I kind of thought one of you guys would go, all right, tonight we're
Oh,
watching.
Casey's working on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's work one of those up and invite all the listeners too. Let's just invite everybody to like watch a movie with us or something.
I mean, if a big quarantine, I feel like a big quarantine's coming.
Could be.
I mean,
by the
it
time
seems
you hear
like
this,
every country that it's
by the
hit
time
has
you hear
done
this, it may
so,
be. I mean,
yeah.
but either way, even if it's not a government ordered quarantine, everybody's trying to self quarantine. So
Right, but I mean
we're having a
one
lot
where,
of
like-
quiet nights at home.
I mean, one where like your restaurant and my hotel are also being told, don't have people come to work.
Like everybody closes.
Everybody closes for 7 days. We understand it's an economical crisis, but
Right.
we got to get ahead of
You
this.
got to do
thing.
what the government recommends. So far, they've recommended that certain things are okay to stay open in limited basis. But
Yeah.
I mean, 100% comply with whatever they tell you.
Something along the lines of having grocery stores, banks, and pharmacies open.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And,
Everyone
like,
else stay
yeah.
the fuck home. I think it's coming. And
Could be.
people who are like, no, they'll never do that. You're kidding yourself.
we
That's
didn't
that's the biggest thing.
We
I
didn't think it
guess.
would get this far.
Yeah.
Not to go on another tangent because we do need to wrap up, but just to the point that you just made, I think the biggest thing that's going to cause panic here, because it happens every time something happens in America, is people going, no, they'll never do that, or no, that'll never happen here. We are an insulated, fragile house of cards as a nation, and our foundation
that
is
show.
also fucking built in sand. And if you guys don't recognize that, we are a young republic historically, and when we've got it right, we have been a beacon for the world to follow, and we can still do that. But we need to come together and not fuck it up, because everything as is like that has happened historically happens here so far. We haven't gotten to some of the worst stuff because we're so young, but we've had a civil war. We've been attacked multiple times. We've been in wars home and abroad. We've had multiple plagues that hit us. We've endured slavery. We've had social revolutions and violent revolutions. We're no different than any other part of the world. Just because America is, the name of the country doesn't mean that we're bulletproof.
So what are you trying
Word.
to say about the quarantine?
No, just that it will happen.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like if it could happen, then
I just pictured an
plan that
American
it will.
flag waving
thank
behind
you.
you
Well,
while
it's
you're
happened
talking, and I
before.
completely
But it's like
lost track.
desaturated.
There was a quarantine. There's a quarantine back in the 60s. So it's not like you can't have
But
a
that's what I
quarantine.
mean.
Is that when the
like-
Spanish flu hit?
No. It was something else. It
But
was,
just the-
it was
Yellow-
flu. It was influenza.
Oh.
Straight up. I think it was influenza outbreak.
But
in
the point
60s.
is, like, prepare like whatever it is will happen, and just hope that it doesn't. Of course, hope that it doesn't. But like, we're
If
people on
it
Earth.
does
so.
breathe, it's okay.
Yeah.
Turn on the Beacon House and go back from episode 1.
That's
And
right.
Just take 7 days to listen to all
Let's do it.
109 episodes.
Just don't disown us after.
Which, by the way, I realized that we released Valerie Buckner's episode a number
Yeah,
earlier.
she had to
than
come. She had to come a week early, so it became episode 108. Otherwise, we would have had to launch something stupid, and it would have been.
Something stupid. Our high fidelity review episode is
No,
great.
it's not that, buddy. Anyway,
That episode's still in the backlog, right?
yeah. We still
Okay.
got it. Dirty Eyes. Is that what it's called?
Dirty Eyes.
Dirty Eyes.
Dirty ass. We should probably change it to Dirty Hands.
Zing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys will hear that episode one day. If we do get quarantined and we can't come down here to record, that'll be the episode that you guys hear. And until we figure out how to do this remotely from home. And remember, above all else, kick a virus ass.
Kick that virus's ass.
Oh my.